Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of TCG Talk, back today with another video. And in today's video we're going to be going over the Katsu expansion slot card along with all the expansion slot cards that have been revealed so far. Kind of talk about them, get back into the hopefully the realm of making videos. See, I can't even talk, and get right into it. So if you're new to the channel, welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by. Hopefully enjoy your stay. If you're a long-standing supporter, thank you so much as always. We'll get right into it. Sorry I've been gone for a while, guys. One, it's been hard for me to make videos. If you can give me 10 seconds, just been struggling with the motivation to do it. And it has nothing to do with how I feel about the game at this point. It's literally just life is so busy. But we're gonna hopefully get back into it. I've really settled down now. I'm still in the academy doing a lot of work. My schedule's pretty busy. Like Monday through Thursday, I'm working, or I'm going pretty much from like 4:30 in the morning to like 5. So I'm just like not having it, but I'm gonna try to make myself in a good way, like force myself to have that same video production in the afternoons and evenings. So that's one thing. And I just moved into a new apartment and we finally got pretty settled in there, so I feel pretty good about it. But we're gonna get into this. The Katsu card is at the end, so if you want to skip to the end you can, but let's talk about all the cards, because I really do enjoy some of the cards, and then we'll have a bone to pick with the Katsu card, but it is what it is. The first one's Adaptive Dissolver. This is a mechanologist equipment base. It's modular. It means it can be equipped into any equipment zone. It has the same type of zone it's equipped to when it's equipped. Its action, pay 0, equip this to another equipment zone, which is really cool, so you can move it around. No go again, though, I think. Yeah, no go again. And then it has Arcane Barrier 1. So this is, I guess, a answer for Teklevossen to be able to have some AB in their equipment zone. This also can start as a base, right? So you could start with AB, I'm assuming. So this is pretty good, and it gives you honestly more natural AB in general for mechanologists. They can now, I believe this will help them be able to, like, the mechanoid, like Max's mechanoid, you could technically run this in an AB matchup and still be able to transform into mech, right? So that's pretty cool, I think. So overall, I think it's a good upgrade. I'd love to hear any mechanologist mains what you think about it. I think it fits the boxes. It definitely helps Teklevossen have some more natural AB to be able to equip it, but it also allows you to run AB in AB matchups where maybe you're going into mechanoid, which is pretty cool. Then we have Fluttersteps. This is an interesting card. This is for Enigma Dissolving Moon for sure. It's a majestic, so it was spoiled by Rhea. Fantastic spoil. When this is destroyed, you may play your next aura. This turn is over an instant. It has Warp 1. So this is definitely going to have synergy with New Moon. I don't even know if it's still 100% the best foot piece for New Moon, but it is way more playable in New Moon. It's not that this is a bad card. It makes complete sense. It's kind of like Dyadic, or the headpiece, right? They're not even bad card. Diadem is Dream State. They're not even really bad cards. They can have some good early game synergy, but the problem is there's like this card's not better than Phantasmal Footsteps or the Ward 3, right? So it's gonna continue probably to be played in New Moon. Really interesting. They put an expansion slot card for a Blitz hero, because that's how I view this, unless something comes away later down the road, which it could. This is definitely a Blitz hero edition, which I don't think we've ever seen that so far. But regardless, really cool card. And then we have Unsheathed. This is the Kasai specialization that's not a Kasai specialization. Your next sword attack this turn gets +3 when this attacks. If its base is greater, or if its attack is greater than twice its base, it gets go again. So if you do this to a Centauri Saber for 5, it's over double its base, right? It's going to be coming in for 5 when its base is 2, so it's going to automatically get go again. So this is a 0 for 3 pump that gives your first sword go again, which is pretty good. Definitely a Kasai spec, because right now, like, sabers are the only real sword that are used. If this didn't say sword attack and this said weapon attack, then you could make this a little bit better. In like in the great axe build, that the one that it gives like overpower, that one actually might be useful, but because it says sword, it immediately is basically a Kasai specialization. But it's a good card. Block 3, it's a red, so it helps for her banish, all that good stuff. So it's a really good solid card. It's basically a better sharpened steel, right? So it's pretty good. Then we have Splatter Skull. This one's really cool. I hate that I sold all my brute stuff, because it gets some really cool stuff. When this hits a hero, choose a face down card in their banish zone. that was banished by Intimidate this turn, put it into their graveyard. So it's another 6 power, block 3, cost 2 to play, no go again. But this card is really cool because, one, just the effect's really good, right? Like if you banish someone's cards and then this hits, it basically forces more interaction with Reinhardt if you're not like intimidating their whole hand. Because obviously Reinhardt's one issue was if he only intimidated once and he's going for like 8 or 10, people were just like, okay, I'll take it, and then they hit you back, right? Like it didn't disrupt their hand at all. They basically just said, I don't care. This makes them care a little bit more, which is really nice. It allows you to even play like some barraging beatdown turns where you like do barraging beatdown, and then you play this, forcing them to block with like both cards, and even if they do, like maybe it doesn't even matter. So in like those triple intimidate turns, double intimidate turns, this card's really good. But even on a single intimidate turn, right? If you do barraging beatdown, pitch a blue, play this, like it's coming in for 8. They have to block with 2 out of the 3 remaining cards in their hand just to keep that one card in their banish, and then they have to decide like, is that worth it? So it's basically, to me, it has a similar power level to Stone Rain in Riptide, or at least it feels the same, where you can get that one card disruption pretty easily and consistently because people can't just effectively block it out or don't want to block it out. So I think it's a really good card, really good addition from Reinhardt. Does it change Reinhardt's position in the meta? Probably not, but little buffs like this will eventually help the hero get to where it needs to be. It's just gonna be interesting to see how many we need. Then you have a second card I'm favored about. I am happy to play and really excited about is Plan for the Worst. This is, again, it's funny they keep making these cards that are specializations pretty much without being specializations. This is basically a Riptide specialization, but it can be played by all Rangers. Look at the target hero's hand and arsenal. At the beginning of their next end phase, they discard all cards in their hand and destroy all cards in their arsenal. So basically, they reveal their entire hand and arsenal, and then you give them a seek and destroy. That's basically what this says. And then at the bottom says, search your deck for up to 3 traps, reveal them, put them into your hand, then shuffle 2 cards from your hand into your deck. So what this allows you to do at the simplest form is, let's say you blocked out with all your cards, but this one. Let's say this one's an arsenal. You play it, you get to see your opponent's entire hand and arsenal, so you know what's coming, you know how to better plan and block for it. Again, plan for the worst. You give them a seek and destroy trigger, essentially, which is really, really good. And you get to arsenal a trap, and they don't know which trap you arsenal because you shuffle the other 2 back into your deck. So I think this is, it's blue block 3, cost 0 to play. I think this is extremely good value. I think in the aim counter builds, this is so good. In the aim counter to like slower builds with more traps, this is insanely good. I'm definitely going to be playing 3 of it in my Riptide build that I've been playing around with a lot. Definitely super excited about this card. It's not going to like win you games, but it's gonna help so much. Like Riptide having the ability, like you're able to see their entire hand and then pick the applicable traps, right? Because sometimes you might not have it. Like for example, like let's say first thing that came to my head, it's an Azalea. And you look at their hand, and they have no pumps, right? They just have arrows. They had all arrow hand, right? Because normally, if you couldn't see their hand, you'd go get an inertia trap because you're like, okay, well, just because I know it's going to trigger, right? Even though you already have the seek and destroy trigger, you might go get an inertia trap just because, whatever. But if you look at their hand and you notice they can't pump their hand at all, not as often, but you notice they can't, maybe you go get Pitfall. Maybe you go get, something else, right? So weird example, but just trying to think of something. The point being, like, the trap that you think might be the best might not actually work. Being able to see their hand's going to allow you to do that. It's going to allow you to plan your blocks and be able to pick the applicable trap that matters. Or you might just pick the legendary traps and call it a day. So really good card. Really excited to play it. Super excited. So then we get to the one that we were going to talk about. So Gustwave of the Second Wind. I just want to read what Brian Gottlieb said. He baited us. I love Brian Gottlieb. It's just really funny. In the Zen ban and restricted announcement where they talked about how it hurt Katsu, right? When we decide to ban cards, we do not do so lightly, and we typically do not do so with the goal of removing a targeted hero from the metagame entirely. We will be happy to see Zen continue to play Descendant Bonds. Blah, blah, blah. And then he says, we expect Katsu can still find ways to bring dishonor upon all of his opponents, perhaps with some coming help from the Rosetta expansion slot.
This does not change where Katsu's at all. Now, this is a fun card. Let's talk about the positives first. One, the artwork's sick. I want this card in foil. Being able to have like all these different Gustwaves in your deck and do all these different things is really cool. And I'm not like completely like sitting here pouting and crazy upset about the fact that this card is not that good. It's not that it's not bad. It just doesn't do anything for Katsu, really. It doesn't really improve Katsu in the metagame at all, in my opinion. But Gustwave to the second win. Combo, if Surging Strike was the last attack this combat chain, this gets go against. This is kind of like, in my opinion, a hybrid of Descendant and Whelming, because Descendant gets the cost reduction after Surging Strike, which 9 times out of 10 is when you're playing it in Katsu. And so this isn't a 0 for 5 like Descendant is, but it blocks for 3. It's a 0 for 4 go again after Surging Strike instead of 0 for 5, but it blocks for 3, which is nice. But it also is a hybrid of Whelming because it has the same attack value, slightly higher regardless if it is comboed or not, but it doesn't draw a card. So it has like, this sounds really negative. It's just, there's no way around it. It's like the worst of both worlds. It's less power than Descendant, and it doesn't turn on Dishonor, and it's worse than, or it's also pretty much less power than Whelming, and it doesn't turn on McGinty line. So like, it's a block 3 Whelming, right, with downside. So if you're playing a more mid-range Katsu game, this is really nice because now you can, I'm trying to find positives here. Now you can like run all these different Gustwaves and be able to like pick your combo piece and really be able to take your time a little bit more and have more options. However, it just doesn't do anything for Katsu. The one thing I thought about what would make this card good, and this is just me workshopping at this point, is if they errata Mugenshi release. Because of how Bonds works, and we'll talk about that in a second with Bonds ban, because of how Bonds works, being able to see any Gustwave, it makes the card a lot better. Like, imagine if Bonds was just Descendant Gustwave. It actually probably would be more balanced, to be honest, but that's neither here nor there. But if McGinty release, they'll never do it because it's a Welcome Wraith card. It's too OG and too much. I don't know. I don't think they'd ever do it. But if they errata McGinty to say any Gustwave, then I think he'd be a lot better because right now McGinty release is just a little bit too slow for the meta. But it's an insanely powerful card. But if it said any Gustwave, and you also could go get any Gustwave, not Whelming Gustwave, then you'd start to have some really powerful effects, right? And McGinty being a Majestic would make sense. So yeah, the card's a 0 for 4 go again. It's basically a Fluttersteps with upside right now. And talking about the Bonds ban, pre-Bonds ban, this card is still not insanely good, but it's a lot better because now Bonds really has a lot of targets it can hit, and you can, really loop to potentially, but because the Bonds ban, this card's just literally, it's a Fluttersteps with upside. Like, this, in my opinion, replaces Red Fluttersteps almost. Like, because you're like looking at my Katsu list right now, just off the top of my head while I'm sitting here, so I can help reference. I don't know what I would even take out for this, and I'm running like a very standard Katsu list, like maybe because I don't want to take out a go again piece, right? So like maybe you take out Red Fluttersteps, and that's about it, right? So overall, a little bit underwhelming. It is what it is. Can't really like complain about it. It's still a really cool card. It has really cool artwork, and I'll definitely be playing it in Katsu because it is a better card. It is an addition to the deck. It's just not an addition that's going to help Katsu in any way, shape, or form. And it sucks because Bonds, if I can say here, the Bonds ban makes sense. Like, just in general, not because Zen was so good, but just like Bonds should have been a Majestic all along. Like Bonds being a 6 or a 9 of permagate keeps the class forever because it's such a broken card, and the more combo cards they print, the more powerful it gets. And eventually you get to the point where it's just like this completely synergistic Bonds deck that just basically double tutors every turn like Zen almost does and just kills it. So I am glad that the Bonds is a Majestic now. It makes sense. And the thing is, the reason I'm not trying to be super harsh here, because people are probably like, oh, you're being overly positive. Like, I don't know how they would fix Katsu. Like, I'm making a video, hopefully I can get it out, of like how I would improve Arachne, because I actually have a thought in my head of like what would make Arachne better and be more competitive in the meta. I don't know how I would improve Katsu without breaking the hero. Like, you'd have to make his on hits for his second combo cards just more powerful, because right now, if you think about it, like, our on hits aren't that much more powerful. Like we have, think about all the second level combo hits we have. You have Whelming Gustwave, which is the most powerful one. You know, Breakpoint, draw a card. That makes sense. But after that, like Descendant Gustwave is a 0 for 5 go again, very good, but it's a 2-block. It has downside if it's not comboed. It's kind of below Ray if it's not comboed, stuff like that, but it does combo into Bond, so it doesn't matter. That one's pretty good, but there's technically no on hit there. It's just a 0. It's just vanilla damage. Then you have Open the Center, 6 Dominate, but sadly the line's just under rate. You have Rising Knee Thrust is a 0 for 5 go again when it's comboed. You have Crane Dance, all those. Basically all of them, if I went through all of them, are all vanilla damage. We need like 1 or 2 more cards like Whelming Gustwave that allow you to have on hit effect, or some type of chess piece is my guess. That's what I would do. A chess piece that has some interaction with combo. Maybe you gain a resource. Like the first time a combo card hits each turn, put a counter on this and gain a resource. Like after 2 counters or something like that. I don't know. Something similar to 12 Peta Kasaya, where if you do the thing, you gain a resource, because it would allow you to be able to play stuff like, you know, off of 2 resources like Surgery and Whelming McGinty or something like that. I don't know. I'm spitballing at this point, but you can see, like, even for me talking about it, like how hard it would be to find something for Katsu. So overall, I'm not upset about it. It'll be played. I'm not sure what it replaces, because that's just how it is. Because I don't think you run a 3 of this, a 3 of a Descendant, and a 3 of a Whelming. That's just too many, because the most Surgeon Strikes you're running is 6, and without Surgeon Strike, this card literally is a Flusterfist. With combo, it does make Flick Flack even better now because it's even more synergy, but it is what it is. But regardless, let me know what you think of it. If you have a negative opinion, that's fine. Try to be constructive with it. Tell me what you would like to see in Katsu. What do you think would make it better? Because overall, it is a little bit of an underwhelming Gustwave, so to speak. But regardless, we're going to have fun with it. We're going to play it. But yeah, thank y'all so much for tuning in and watching this. Hopefully I can get some more videos out for you this week. I'll really try. I guess got to, get back into things. But thank y'all so much. Hopefully you'll have a great rest of your day. If you like this type of content, please leave a like, comment, or subscribe. If not me, it's completely fine. Go to another creator, leave a like, comment, subscribe on their stuff so you get more people seeing this game. And I'll see y'all next time on TCG Talk. Thank y'all so much.